everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be learning something so simple and so effective, and it's going to be a really quick demo, so let's get started. So start by e-wrapping and casting on a few needles and knitting a few rows. It doesn't matter how much you do. We are going to be working with elongated stitch, and we are going to be using a chunky tape yarn which is linked below. The demo to the elongated stitch is also linked below, so go ahead and check it out. So we start off by doing that stitch on all the needles and then knitting a few rows in the mercerized cotton yarn. And then we're going to be working with another variation, because I would like to show you about a few variations to do with this technique to see how you can experiment. So for the second variation, we are going to be working with some transfer work. With a single-ended transfer tool, go ahead and transfer every other needle over to your right or to your left, whichever you're comfortable doing. Push all of those working needles forward, the ones that have stitches on them, and push them slightly over to the back, and go ahead and do the elongated stitch only on those needles. Once you've done so, go ahead and weigh the knit down and push all of your needles, including the non-working needles, into working position or all the way forward, and then go ahead and knit a few rows in the mercerized cotton yarn. The last variation for this technique is similar to the one that we've just done. We're going to be working with some transfer work again, and we are transferring the second and third needle to the left and right, leaving us with a layout of one working, two out of position, one working, two out of position. Go ahead and push these working needles slightly over to the back and do the elongated stitch on these needles again. Once you're done with the stitch, weigh the knit down, and now we're going to push a few needles forward into working position. Start by pushing one of the empty needles from each set forward, so the needle layout you'll be left with is two working, one empty, two working, one empty. Knit across one row and then push all of your needles into working position and knit as many rows as you desire. Once you've finished, go ahead and take the knit off. The next step is to grab a chunky latch tool, which is also linked below, and we are going to be creating or reforming the stitches to create that mock knit embroidery effect. So we are going to be going into every other strand or every other stitch and reforming the stitches one at a time. So I have linked below the video to show you or to demonstrate how to reform stitches. It's the same as when they fall off on your swatches on the machine and you've got to pick them back up. It's really simple, and once you get the hang of it, it is so quick to do. So we are going to do the exact same thing for the next row of elongated stitch, and we go into every other strand yet again. This is because I found that when I was going into every strand or every stitch, it tended to gather the knit quite a bit, and I did not quite like it. So I would definitely encourage you to experiment and see what really works for you. You might also find it helpful to actually make the stitch length longer. Again, I have linked these demos below, so you can experiment with elongated stitch and reforming stitches and see how much more you can actually do with this technique. So I really hope you enjoyed this demo. I have found it to be so simple and such an effective technique, and definitely worth exploring. Do remember to change your yarns, add other techniques within the swatch as well to make it more interesting. Now, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share it with your knit friends. Follow me on Instagram and tag me in your progress. I'll see you next week. Bye.